Now, next up in the studio, no Tyra may be new kids on the block, but that's only because their band was formed last year in August. However, thanks to their stellar music pedigree, they're old souls when it comes to music and cite the Beatles as their greatest influence. Combine that with the fact that all the band members sing and write music, and you've got a knockout punch heading your way for 2016. Welcome to VBuzz.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
All right, we've got Aryton and Kieran with us in the studio. Gentlemen, once again, thank you for being with us in the studio.
It's a pleasure.
I love the name, No Tyra. If we switch it around, it's Aryton, basically, which is your name.
Yeah,
I mean, it's either that or there's like an anti-Tyra Banks kind of thing going on.
Well, that's the first thing that people ask us when, you know, why no Tyra? Do you guys have something against Tyra Banks? Nah. Well, I wish that was the case, but it's actually my name just spelled backwards, and when people hear that, it's like, oh, mind blown.
So basically, you are the person who started the band then?
Yeah, well, I basically got everyone together. Kieran was the first one I got on board when I wanted to start playing music again. I've known these guys since we were 3 years old. Back then, we were more worried about which Power Ranger we were going to buy than playing music. So, and our dads performed together as well. So from Kieran, I got my niece Chanel, Jared, Elvin, Jude. So that's how No Tyra was formed. And yeah, till today we don't know how the name came about because it's highly debatable how the name, because we got very different versions.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's. Yeah.
What are some of the different versions?
Well, just coming from my story lah. My story is, you know, like Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi say like, oh, what should we call ourselves? You know, like, why just call ourselves Aryton, like Bon Jovi or Daughtry? It's like, yeah, okay. Then the Balik thing sounds better. No Tyra, oh, okay. But his story is he's the one that came up with the name.
What's your story? What's your story?
So what came up was actually. We were crunching our heads for ideas for names, and it was on a WhatsApp group. So we were typing, and I randomly just popped his name backwards, No Tyra, and he was obviously it's his name. It's like, okay, let's use it.
Once again, I can say it's highly debatable. I can't remember the proper version. I probably was sleepy or something.
There was a Malaysian band called Disagree because they couldn't agree on the name. Thank goodness you all agreed on the name.
So earlier, you know, you mentioned there's a few of you in the band. What is everybody's role in the band?
Well, I am the lead singer. Kieran's the lead guitarist. We got Jared, who's the drummer. Chanel's the keyboardist. And Elvin's the bassist, and also we got Jude, who's the other guitarist, who's not here today. Yeah, so all of us write songs individually and together as a team. The first two songs that we're going to come out as singles, the first single was one written by me, the second one is also going to be written by me. The third one is either between Chanel or Kieran. They'll play 1, 2 song. Who win will get the third single lah.
Yep. So much of love between
the game of
group.
trance.
It's fantastic. But you know, Aryton, you were mentioning the fact that you have, you know, basically a lot of heritage in the music industry itself. Your fathers played together. I'm going to let Kieran answer this question. Could you give us a bit of your family heritage in terms of the music itself?
My dad, who's actually Kieran Jumawan, he's a pianist. He's been around in the music scene for since I was born actually. So
that's always good.
Yeah. So I was pretty much, he was my guidance growing up. Same thing goes to Aryton. Yeah. We knew each other since we were 3. We used to stay at the same place. We went to the same school for so many years.
Broke his toys.
He broke. Yeah, that's a very popular story. He used to come to my house, and I had the latest Power Rangers, and he used to break everything I have.
So you are the rebel without the cause. But Aryton, with regards to your family as well, it's a big, heavy name in the industry.
Well, I think my cousin was on the show, I think last year, Rachel, when she was promoting her album, you said like, carrying the family name is sort of a curse. So maybe it's true, but it's a bit of a burden, but you know, it's a burden that we embrace because all of us, myself, Jared and Chanel, were part of the Soliano family. And because of them, we play music, and whatever we do in life, also we cannot run away from music. It will always be a part of us, even though we tend to do other things as day jobs. But it's always what we have to come up to. It's in our blood.
They set the platform for us already, and we're just carrying on.
Obviously, obviously, it's a big name. It's a burden to carry. It's big shoes to fill, especially like when my uncles and aunties, my dad performing, and you watch them say, "Whoa, I'll never be as good as that." But you can only do your best.
Yeah. Now, with such concentration of raw talent in the band, the jam sessions must be quite electric. So who takes on the role of leader in these situations?
Aryton's the leader of the band, but when it comes to writing our stuff and getting creative, we all have our input in it. So sometimes, like, we have a particular song that's like, let's say I would start the first riff or something, and then the rest will come up and add on to it, and that's how we get our material at the end of the day. But he is the judge at the end of the day, so if he likes it, we go with it. If he doesn't like it, we got to come up with something else. Yep. So he holds the hammer.
So you are the filter, basically, Aryton, for the band, is it?
Well, sadly, I'm a bad
He's a
filter.
whip master.
Sadly, I'm a bad filter. But since we're on TV, there's some things we can't say. But but I try my best. That's what it is.
I mean, I shouldn't be asking this question, but I might as well ask. Do you think at times maybe, you could always have a second or third opinion when it comes to a thing, or you are just that final say, there's no more influence for
No,
the
there
band?
is another one.
I thought as
Superior
much.
force above Aryton.
Well,
actually, our guide and actually the person that we take advice from, if his filtering is like torn or something, is Jared, our drummer.
Okay.
Because of his experience in the industry, he's been playing way longer.
In
than
the
any of us
family
are.
tree, he's actually my nephew.
Yeah.
He's older than me, so yeah, there's too many of us to count. And because Jared was taught by my elder relatives, my elder cousins, my uncles, and my dad, and he's the old school way. I'm the most chill out person you can meet, but
Debatable.
Debatable, yes.
Debatable.
I've started like this. So he will say, like, no, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. So yeah, he's probably going to give me a earful after this anyway. So might as well just say what I want.
Hashtag family pride.
Yeah, well, okay, we're going to be right back and speak more to the band, but we'll take a quick commercial break. Welcome back to VBuzz. You're still here with me, Shareeta and Roshan, and we are in the studio with Kieran Jumawan and Aryton Soliano from the band No Tyra. And earlier, before we left for a commercial break, we were speaking to you guys about, the different way you guys are organized within the band. So, can you tell us a little bit more about like the kinds of gigs you have been performing at so far?
Okay. Well, when we first started off. Just to get tight, this is before I think we had we sat down then and wrote original material. We played like cover songs. We played at bars and where the young kids go to, like places in the Curve and whatnot. So we played three sets, and that's how I think we got tighter as a band.
That was our foundation
Yeah,
to kickstart,
to kickstart
so
everything.
that we get our chemistry together.
And also, that's where this indie label spotted us and signed us to a record deal, and that's how we are releasing our singles right now. And also we've been playing like what do we call that?
we do sometimes do shows like corporate functions and
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
And our biggest highlight so far up to now is actually playing for David Cameron, the president of the UK. Sorry,
Oh,
the Prime Minister lah, Dave.
President.
President is Obama, Prime Minister.
Yeah, confused there.
No, but
Prime Minister.
I got this question because I mean you mentioned the word indie. How big and how difficult are the challenges for the indie bands here in Malaysia? First for exposure, and secondly the support from the music industry itself.
It's you want to answer this?
I don't know. You call it.
It's actually a lot of hard work in pushing yourselves to get noticed. That's the first thing. Actually, there's no really big issue in the indie scene. Marketing is easy. Play more gigs, get to know people, network, and then you will notice that the music scene is actually pretty small, and you get to know everyone in the scene. And sometimes when one of the bands is having a gig, and they will call us to come along too, and we would gladly perform. And that's how I view personally the indie music scene. It's a small community that's easy to reach, and then also the outreach to the fans as well. They are quite accepting to all the bands that play, and we actually appreciate the people who actually come out and watch us like live. So
Right.
I don't think I got anything to add to that.
So No Tyra has been around for a year now. Could you tell us about your first single?
Well, the first single was written when I was probably in college, 19 or 20, with this guy called Ezra Kong, who's a very good young songwriter as well, who wrote for people like Elizabeth Tan and Faisal Tahir. So he's the one that worked me on that song, and that became our first single, which is Deny. The second one that we're going to release next year, it's Selamanya. That will be a Bahasa Melayu single. Well, that's That's what we have to do.
You know, you said you've been in the business at least practicing and gigging for about a year now. In your opinion, has your music evolved? Has it taken a different direction from what you first thought?
Definitely. Because we started off with Deny. Deny was, as he said, he wrote it when he was like 19, 20. Ago. That was then when he was at 19 and 20. But as we progress, the longer we stay together as a band, we notice that each of us have like different sides of us.
It's all about finding the sound of the band.
Yeah,
we are all have different influences, different mixes, blend it together and make one nice curry.
And we all have different inputs every time, so it's always best to share our ideas, and it's best to actually input all of them so we get a different kind of take to a song.
Okay.
And we hear you've also got a Christmas single out.
Yep.
Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, I think probably when this is aired, it will all be out. You can download it off our Facebook page. We're giving it for free because Christmas is the time of giving.
And we would like to give something back as well in terms of buying your albums. But you know,
just kasih satu like.
one like on Facebook and so on and so forth. But you know, the challenges for any band is to sustain yourself and then to progress as well. I mean, 2015 is done and dusted basically. So in terms of your next few projects for 2016, what's coming up?
Well, the first thing we're going to look forward to is our next single, which is a song called Selamanya. Song about my ex-girlfriend, but it's okay. And probably by the end of next year, an EP probably of our own songs. That's what we got to look for next year.
As it is now, we have a number of songs already in the bag. So maybe the target for 2016 is to put them all in the EP.
Yeah,
it's about 5 or 6 of them.
Just look forward to this single first, single, and then we can move forward.
Okay, well here's a question. You know, I've been wondering if you were stuck on a deserted island and you could only listen to one band for the rest of your life.
Oh, such a deep question, Shareeta. That's
yes,
like
I know.
insane, but that is a fantastic question.
Yeah, it's a good question, but a hard one.
What band would you like to haunt your...
Debatable. I'm going to say first debatable. He's going to come up with something.
Well, I have two on my mind, which is the Beatles or Oasis. If I had to flip a coin, hopefully it lands on the Beatles.
Yeah, that was no surprise there. But gentlemen, if we do want to get in touch with you, if you want to get your singles and your albums and so on and so forth, where do we go to again?
Well, we can go to our website, our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/NoTyraBand. You can also go to YouTube. You can check out our song there. It's on Spotify. It's on iTunes as well. Just type in No Tyra or the song Deny, and you got us.
Kieran, your next gig, immediate next gig, where's it going to be? We can catch you live.
For 2015?
Yeah.
We're done for 2015.
Oh, you're done? We're done.
We're done for 2015.
We're all going on our Christmas break.
Christmas break. But in 2016, currently we don't have any yet, but any updates can always be found on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank
Congratulations, and hopefully we shall see you soon with a brand new album.
Yes.
All right. Monty.